So guys, as you can tell, from the title of this video, this one's a bit more serious. I wasn't actually going to cover this topic originally, but then I realised most self-improvement YouTubers don't talk about this, and it's important and it could really help someone. So, I have a little bit of a personal backstory with this. From 2017 to 2019, I wasn't the happiest. I would always get these self-deprecating thoughts and suicidal thoughts all the time. And it wasn't anything like extreme to the sense that I wouldn't actually act on it because I was too scared or whatever. But it would be a constant thing every single day, like nearly every hour of every day. I would constantly get a thought of like, oh, maybe things would be better if I wasn't here. Oh, I'd like, if something happened in my life or someone acted a certain way, I'd be like, they'd be much happier if I wasn't here, or something like that. And my brain just kept feeding me these thoughts over and over until one day I just realized, you know what? Me getting all these thoughts isn't helping me at all. It's just digging me deeper in a hole of like negative mental health. And I just end up feeling worse and worse about it for no reason. So if I can get out of this negative self-deprecating thought cycle, I can start generally feeling better, becoming more confident in myself, and just be happier. And who wouldn't want to be happier, right? So I managed to get myself out of it by manually training my thoughts and changing the way that I think, changing my mindset, which enabled me to progress and become generally happier. And now I haven't had a single self-deprecating or suicidal thought in probably 3 years now. It's been quite a while, maybe even 4 actually. So I'm going to show you how I overcame these negative thoughts using the tips that I explain in this video.
So this shit crazy.
So what tell DJ Khaled say another one? I CBA, so I'm not even talking. You want my ETA, I ain't left your shit.
So firstly, we want to focus on the root of the suicidal thoughts, where these negative thoughts come from. And usually there's only two main sources: a negative environment, which is like the external factors, and a negative mindset towards your environment, which is like all of the internal factors. Fix your mindset, fix your environment, and find your purpose. So to start with, the mindset. And I'm starting with this one because it's probably the most important one, while also being the most powerful one, because changing your mindset or having a strong, resilient mindset can help towards a lot of things in life. And being able to control whether or not you get negative thoughts can take you very, very far. And you really want to make sure that you can get a resilient, strong mind. So you want to learn to start like controlling your thoughts to focus more on positive thoughts and almost ignoring the negative thoughts that you get. And the ways that you can do this is you can keep yourself too busy to get negative thoughts. Don't let your mind become idle and lost in overthinking. An idle mind is the devil's playground. If you sit around doing nothing, your brain will automatically find problems to focus on, so don't give it the chance. You can also pick up a new hobby or learn a new skill. And this will go great for like keeping your mind busy and preventing it from creating all these negative thoughts. Because the thing is, like I just mentioned in that quote, when your brain overthinks, it always usually tends to lead towards a downward spiral, and then you end up getting a bunch of negative thoughts. So you don't want to sit there wasting time overthinking. You want to keep yourself busy with a new hobby or a new skill. Now, another thing that can help you out is gratitude. Even for the smallest things, it rewires your brain to be more positive, or just your thoughts generally to just be more positive. You want to learn to be more grateful for the things in your life. So say, for example, there's certain aspects in your environment, which we'll get onto later, which are being negative in a certain aspect, like you're not really enjoying school and like it's affecting your mental health, the stress and this and that. You can rewire that and reframe it in your mind to be something positive and be like, actually, you know what, I'm really grateful that I have a school to go to. I have a place where I can get an education, whereas some people can't, right? So using like being able to flip things like that and reframe it can change your mindset towards it, and you'll see things in a completely different light, which will make the negatives seem less as impactful compared to the positive stuff. You want the positives to outweigh the negatives. Now, the next thing is you don't want to dwell on negative thoughts. The thing is, they will still come, but just don't let your brain overthink them. And another thing is, if you get a suicidal thought, say to yourself, that's not me, I don't do that. This reframes your identity to be someone who just doesn't get those thoughts, because you're literally telling yourself, That's not me. I don't do that. I don't get these thoughts. I'm not that type of person. And that's what you want to do. You want to retrain yourself to be like, you don't want to be that person anymore. So you have to train your mind to and literally start telling yourself, that's not me. I'm not that person. I don't do that. You want to start doing this and start reaffirming this to yourself every time you get these thoughts, because that's what will cut out the bad habit of your mind actually automatically creating those thoughts. Now, with your environment, this is like changing what you take in. So your environment is essentially everything you consume. People, school, social media, content you watch, basically anything you take as an input. Now, you need to change your environment if it's a negative environment. Now, if you can't change your environment, change your environment. Now, I just repeated myself. What I mean by this is if you can't physically change it, then change your relationship with it. So, for an example of this, the two different ways that you can change your environment is try to improve your surroundings. If the people around you are always negative, talk to them and explain the effect that it's having on you. And if they won't change, then change the people around you, which might be more difficult, but you can get new friends and cut off negative influences. If you have a group of friends that's like picking on you at school, constantly bullying you, I had this one kid who just constantly would annoy me, and I used to think he was my friend, and he would just constantly like pick on me, basically bully me, but I thought he was my friend because I thought we were doing it jokingly. But the thing is, it was actually getting to me, all this negative energy, and it made me a really insecure, like, quiet kid. And I just became very insecure, and I started overthinking about all these things because he kept picking on me about it. And as soon as I stopped being friends with him, I said, look, I actually don't enjoy this. My friend should be someone that actually uplifts me, not puts me down. Like, I understand, like, you have bantery jokes with your friends and this and that, but that wasn't that. This was a constant picking on, and that's how he got his entertainment, is just by taking the mick out of me. So you want to avoid friends like that. Obviously, yeah, you can have bantery jokes with your friends, like I said, but you need to learn to identify the difference between when people are actually just taking the mick out of you and you're like the butt of every single joke, versus when you're actually having a joke with your friends. They're not laughing at you, they're laughing with you, and you're all just joking around together. And obviously, like, you guys, you're gonna like pick on each other. You'll say something to him, he'll say something to you, but it's all in good health and it's all in good banter. And it's quite difficult to learn the difference, but if you feel like it's always targeted at you, that's when you know that they're probably not your friend, essentially. You want to avoid that type of negative, toxic environment, because all of that negative energy is then feeding into you. And then later on throughout the day, you might not make the link immediately, but later on throughout the day, you're getting all these negative thoughts because people are telling you all this negative stuff all day. Oh, why is your hair like that? Oh, you short little Indian kid, and this and that. I used to get that all the time. And this is one of the biggest changes that I made in my life that actually helped me change my mindset and stop getting all these negative thoughts. And another thing that I recommend is considering a dopamine detox. Now, I'm not going to cover this bit for long because this isn't a video about a dopamine detox. However, it can be worth considering because there is a lot of negative influences online and it can get to your mind. But I'll cover a full dopamine detox in a future video, so stay tuned for that. Now, the root cause is finding purpose. So, I want to quickly explain this. Why do we get suicidal thoughts? Usually it's because we're depressed, right? Now, why do we get depression? Now, there's several reasons for this, but usually for most men, it's a lack of purpose or direction. And not knowing what you're doing in life makes everything feel pointless. You're kind of just drifting around, not really knowing what you're doing, and you're just kind of like living life as it hits you. I've used this sort of terminology so many times in my videos, but I feel like a lot of men experience that. A lot of young men especially experience that, where they feel so purposeless and directionless in life, and they don't really know what to do, and because of this they feel so lost. Most men lead lives of quiet desperation, and that's honestly what it feels like when you feel purposeless. So first of all, I just want to say, if this doesn't apply to you and you feel like you already have a purpose, just still stay on the video because the advice still might help you out. So, how to find your purpose? The easiest way is to put yourself out there and try new things. If you never step outside of your comfort zone, you'll never know what's actually out there. Be curious and experiment, try new things, pick up new hobbies, learn new skills. You maybe want to like go to the gym, learn rock climbing, do something physical. Maybe it doesn't need to be physical. You can start reading. You can start learning how to play golf. There's so many skills and hobbies out there that you can pick up and just try one. You don't need to overthink it and be like, oh, but golf has this problem and this and this, and but going to the gym has this and this. Just try something. Put yourself out there, and you won't know until you actually try. And then guess what? You've got a new hobby, you've got a new skill, and skills are so valuable. You can monetize them, you can do this, you can do that. But as long as it's taking up your time, first of all, it'll give you a purpose. You'll feel like you're actually putting your life towards something contributable. And secondly, like I said, you can monetize it and it just adds more to your personality. So when you want to make more friends or when you want to meet new people and you want to start talking to girls, you have more personality and substance to you because you have something about you that's actually interesting. Oh yeah, he goes golf. Oh damn, that's really cool. Like you can have a conversation about that because that becomes your profession. That becomes something that you can master in. So finally, listen. If you're in a dark place right now, I promise you this. It doesn't last forever, but you have to take control. Fix your mindset, fix your environment, find your purpose. You're way stronger than you think. Just take the first step.